The PTA, the PTA. I have a Santa Claus at the schoolhouse for the PTA. The parent-teachers group, they call a meeting. My wife, she says, you have to go, my dear. It's the big important Christmas party meeting, when all the papas who ain't sick appear. I dozed off till the middle of the meeting, when the chairman shouted out so all could hear. Mrs. Yorgesson says that her jolly husband, he will gladly be our Santa Claus this year. The other papas looked relieved and happy. They knew I'd been betrayed by my sweet wife, and I was weak like that strong fellow Swanson, when Delilah cut his hair off with a knife. The PTA, the PTA. I have a Santa Claus at the schoolhouse for the PTA. On the night of the party, I sneaked into the school. The committee, they all met me there. These giggling women are going to dress me and glue on my whiskers and hair. I got into them big red pants and black boots. The jacket was 7 feet wide. When I got into it, there was still plenty room for one good-sized reindeer to hide. Then I walked into the school gymnasium. The plan was that each little tyke would walk up and shake hands with old Santy and tell me what presents they like. The first kid was little Dagmar Larsson, who wanted a new kiddie car. She patted my face with her wet little hand, which was half full of warm chocolate bar. The next kid in line was the young Scarborough boy. I think that his first name is Milo. He's the orneriest brat in the whole darn school, and he's built just like a brick silo. Last year, he says, you promised to bring me a real sharp sword and a gun, and all that you brought was new shoes and a coat, you dirty old son of a gun. Then he yabbed his finger right in my eye, and I let out a heck of a groan. And when he kicked my shin with his brass-toed shoe, I was sure that he'd broken the bone. Then old man Guttormson picked his granddaughter up, and when he put her down on my lap, his lighted cigar set my whiskers on fire. They started to crackle and snap. I jumped up and made a run for the door as fast as my sore leg would go, and put out the fire in a snowbank and cooled off my face in the snow. I didn't dare go back, so I hurried on home and closed my front door with a slam. And in my own home, my dog bit me twice before he figured out who I am. But the kids all had a nice Christmas, and in spite of what happened, I'll still say I'd be Santa Claus again next Christmas for the good old PTA. The PTA, the PTA. I have a Santa Claus at the schoolhouse for the good old PTA. Down at the factory where I work, at every Christmas party we all go berserk. At the Christmas parties they serve free beer, and I'm still in the doghouse from the one last year. Running the switchboard is old Miss Lee. All through the year this old maid, she ain't nice to me. But at the parties her eyes just snap, and I don't dare sit down 'cause she clamps on my lap. Our boss is Ole Yorgesson. All year long this old guy, he don't have no fun. But at the parties he has a ball. She sings secretaries up and down the hall. We got a salesman who sings so loud, you hear his voice above the shouting of the crowd. He sings so loud at what he's pointed toward, he blows potato chips right off the smorgasbord. The boss starts the party off with a speech on goodwill. He says he loves us. Yeah, we are his pals. Then when he's through talking, he shows what he means by trying to kiss all the gals. The men are all laughing and pouring out beer. I know some of these guys are delighted, 'cause Christmas parties are used for the help, and the wives are never invited. Then we exchange silly presents, and the fat guys get girdles. They put them on and dance around and wiggle. And when some of the girls open their presents, they scream, and their faces get red and they giggle. Old Miss Lee, who always jumps on my lap, she keeps following me around. And sometimes she tries to sit on my lap and I ain't even sitting down. Mr. Hanson, the salesman, he never stops singing. All evening his loud voice is blaring. He stands by the smorgasbord shouting silent night with his mouth full of pickled herring. The boss chases Miss Svensson around the water cooler. She's the one we call Jane Russell for short. All the fellows hope the boss don't ever catch her, 'cause watching her run is great sport. I always start to go home around midnight, but I never get home until 4. The little woman comes out on the porch to meet me. Holy Moses, is dreamboat sore. She whoops and hollers about the lipstick on my face. I always feel like a dime. But I never miss the Christmas party at the office, 'cause we sure have a dandy good time. Now this year, if you plan to celebrate, be careful of that lipstick and don't get home late. And while your gang is having fun, I'd like to just say Merry Christmas, everyone.